We first came looking at virtualization in about 2003 because we were faced with growing our course management system. We'd have to put 100 pizza box type servers in the data center, and we decided that there had to be better ways to do that. We consolidated several hundred servers down to 20 or so physical environments in a very short time.
We knew that server virtualization was returning great dividends, so we want to do the same thing around storage. You can't really virtualize much of your x86 if you don't have storage to back all of what you physically had before. Those two things really set the tone for us in terms of a strategy of standardizing, consolidating, and virtualizing.
We soon began realizing that there would be value for offering this service to other departments and schools around the university and maybe to other campuses. So we began a process of transitioning the virtual server environment for internal use to something that had cloud-like qualities. And it really was offering infrastructure as a service, offering compute and storage as a service to the customers.
The entire design of the architecture scales horizontally. So when I add on 2, 3, 100, 500 departmental needs, 2 or 3 regional campuses needs, it doesn't minimize the importance of the central IT services.
At IU Northwest, we started moving resources into the intelligent infrastructure in 2008. The campus had a flood that required closing for over 2 weeks. And even though we'd been considering the intelligent infrastructure, it really drove us to make the decision much sooner. The machine room where all of our resources were located sat high enough that most of the flooding occurred in the basement. But if we had water in that room, we would have lost everything. The phone system, the voicemail system, video surveillance equipment. Had we lost it, I am not sure that we would have been able to recover sufficiently.
Recreational sports provides all the fitness facilities, equipment, and operations programming here in Bloomington. There are several locations where the computing environment is not ideal. Previously, we were having a computer go bad about every 6 months. In early 2003, we started virtualizing some of our operations. We were able to put a thin client out there and virtualize the workstation, and we've yet to replace in 6 years now. That's been a huge benefit.
We know that all of the security standards are going to be met. Being able to rely on services hosted out of the new data center at our Bloomington campus, we could never replicate anything close to that. We don't have to worry about having staff on hand 24/7. Those services are already provided as part of the private cloud service Indiana University offers us.
There are 3 major strategic benefits we've seen from using the intelligent infrastructure. One of them has been disaster recovery, and that's one of the primary reasons we were using virtualization here. But in a larger scale that University Information Technology has been doing is far more sophisticated than what I could afford to do here. The second has been scalability. Data size needs, file size needs have really put some strain on our servers here, but moving over to the intelligent infrastructure, I don't have those strains. They're able to grow as I need. The other one is savings. Over 2-year replacement cycles, we computed that we were going to save around $35,000 because I've not had to replace servers.
It's strategic to get our most precious resources, which is the staff, focused on the mission, which is teaching and research, and not worrying about managing servers. Right now we have a few dozen departments, a few hundred servers that we manage, but there's still hundreds of departments out there that run servers on their own. We really need to position this so that it becomes a viable alternative for everyone at the university. We do charge departments for the use of this service. The departments pay for what they consume that month. If they need a greater capacity one month versus another, they can ramp that up for that month, pay a little bit more, and then ramp it back down for the next month.
Intelligent infrastructure is the ability to have an asset that can be shared. And the analogy that I would make is renting a car. I may want to rent a car for a 2-day weekend. I don't want to buy the car, but I want the car to be just as good as the day I bought it. Why doesn't a department just buy their own car? They can buy that car and pick your brand of maybe lower end vehicle, or they can drive a Ferrari for the cost of renting a very inexpensive vehicle. So I'm only paying for what I use.
Making the case that the intelligent infrastructure is the right way for a school and department to go is one of the big challenges. You have to develop trust. It takes some time. It's really just working with schools and departments, understanding their problems, understanding how we can help solve those problems.
Look at what you're doing today and compare the costs. It's definitely a more efficient, effective, and economical way of providing infrastructure.